Hello. Hi, Terry. I know, I'm so glad to have you. Terry, have you been gone? Because I don't feel like I've seen you as much. I know I saw you on the live, but I don't think I've seen you very much. So, how have you been? Um, I want to know that. And then Esta, looking forward to yoga. And today we're going to do some core work and some posture work. So I think that is exciting. Who else is here who wants to speak now and let me know that they're here? And Carolyn, good morning. Glad to be here with you as well. Yes. You know what, ladies? It's everything we do. It's every time we show up is what helps us be healthy. Let me just clean my camera. Okay, I feel like it was a little blurry. Yeah, it's an everyday, all day adventure, right? It's everything. So here we have this opportunity now to show up to our mat to do some work today. There's some good stuff planned. So, is there anything you'd like to ask me or say before I go back to my mat and we practice yoga? So, if you want to ask anything or say anything, for those of you that are watching this recorded, welcome. I hope you have a great class today with me. And then I do have a program I sell called Yoga Therapy for Bone Health. And it's got 67 videos, a lot of tutorial videos, a lot of practice videos. So if you want more of this, and if you do not have the commercial free version of YouTube, you might have a lot of YouTube or commercial interruptions. So if you'd like I have a course, you could see that on my website, debbierobinson.com. And so there is that. And then, of course, practicing with me, I'm here every week. I will not be here next week live because I'm actually going to be in Tampa live filming a TV segment on bone health. I'm going to do a cooking segment and then a yoga therapy segment and 2 speaking segments. So I will be in Tampa recording more bone health information. So I won't be able to show up live to this class. I will share some recorded classes for you to practice. And then there's always the recorded classes that I've taught over the years that are, always different to keep it interesting and exciting. Been on the same journey with bone health myself for so many years at this point that is what I do. And so that's why I want to say that to those who are watching this recorded, because most people actually watch these recorded. So if you're doing that, welcome and enjoy today's practice. Esta, you did, wasn't it? Yeah, so the miso soup. And Esta, did you take the miso and warm it up with some broth outside of the soup at the end so that you preserved as many of the live cultures as possible? Because that's an important thing with miso. Miso is a live culture. So if you take the miso and you mix it up on the outside, and that was one recipe, right, with bok choy and some other things, but you could do that to anything, any vegetable soup, any bean soup that you like. Make your soup first, and then before you eat it, take out a heaping tablespoon of the miso, which has all of those probiotic fibers and cultures, which is so important for supporting our gut health, because our gut health is so important to our bone health in ways that we don't even really fully understand. And my latest studies has been on toxins in gut health and how important it is to maintain the right diversity of bacteria in your gut. Because if you have too many opportunistic species in your gut, they themselves create toxins. So we're so concerned with trying to reduce our toxic exposure outside. We also have to be careful with our internal toxic exposure. And if we don't have that right balance of microbes, that can happen. So that miso soup that you made, Esta, has probiotics in it to repopulate your gut with beneficial gut microbes. So not only is it a delicious soup, not only does it kick it up a notch in flavor, it also kicks it up a notch in health. So yes, we need to do yoga for our bone health. We also need to have a healthy gut for our bones as well. So perfect. You did it. All right. And for those of you that are not understanding what I'm talking about, go to my website, debbierobinson.com. I teach live cooking classes. I have a community where I share recipes. And that is what Esta's speaking about, is that recipe that was in there. All right. So I'm going to start and let's get going. Today's practice is going to be focused on our core and on our posture, because half of all the fractures are in the spine, and a big contributor to spinal compression fractures is poor posture. And because we every single day have our head forward, we contribute to that. So I want to give you a little piece of awareness. One of my favorite awareness pieces when it comes to posture is visualization, and to actually visualize throughout the day these different visuals to keep you in alignment. So wherever you are, I'd like you to either sit if you're seated or stand if you're standing, and come into a position where you are in a nice, comfortable seated or standing position. Now, without looking down, I want you to bring your awareness to your pelvis. Okay, we're gonna do this visual of posture I like with a 3-scoop ice cream cone. So your legs below your pelvis, your legs is like a cone. You know those sugar cones, it has to be gluten-free, so we're not gonna eat it. But just think of the bottom of your body as the cone. Your pelvis is scoop number 1, your rib cage is scoop number 2, and your head is scoop number 3. Now, if you had a 3-scoop ice cream cone, you have to be careful that it doesn't topple over. And part of what you would do is you move the bottom in order to support what's above. If you go to the circus and you see clowns taking sticks with plates on top, what happens is the clown is running around in order to balance the plate above its head. So if you were a 3-scoop ice cream cone, your cone is the base. You have scoop number 1 pelvis, scoop number 2 rib cage, scoop number 3 head. The thing is that scoop number 3 is forward often. And our head on average is about 10 pounds. So when your head is forward all day, which it is, we text, we computer, we cook, we read, we're cleaning, we're looking for things. So often our 3rd scoop is forward. And what does that do? When the 3rd scoop is forward, it actually takes this part of your body, so the protection from you falling, you contract the front muscles. So we shorten our front body. And then the back body gets overstretched or loses its tone, loses its effectiveness to protect us. So where your 3rd scoop is really matters. And another thing here is when your head goes forward, when the upper spine starts to go forward, when the body weight goes forward, then everything else can go forward. So you're already in a falling position when you are forward, which is why these muscles need to contract. So we get really tight in this front part of our body. And so when we think of posture, and if you think about the 3 scoops of ice cream, your pelvis number 1, your rib cage number 2, and your head is number 3. When you think about those 3 scoops, and really in particular, you think about that 3rd scoop, what's happening to my 3rd scoop? So we're gonna do a practice today that's gonna lengthen the front of your body, strengthen the core muscles that help to be that balance, part of what balances that 3rd scoop on top of your head. And then we'll strengthen our back body, because our back body loses its tone when we are in this forward folded position with our body and our head. So that is a really nice piece of awareness, is the 3 scoops of ice cream. So for this practice, get your blanket and your block and your strap, and we'll actually begin today's practice with the block. So have your block handy. Now let's practice coming down without leading with our 3rd scoop. So quite often to come down to the ground, you might be looking down and then start to put your body down, everything is forward. Can you keep your 3 scoops in alignment and move yourself down through your joints? Now, when you want to bring your lower body forward to touch the ground, because depending on what range of motion and flexibility you have in the lower body, when you want to do that, then you can start to go a little lower, and then we're bending at the hip joint here. The 3rd scoop, the 2nd scoop, and the 1st scoop are all in alignment when you come down onto the ground. So if you practice that here, you raise the awareness here when you're practicing yoga, then you take it off the mat, you take it into your life. And I often am told by people that I teach that they are using this, they are thinking of their 3rd scoop, or thinking of some of the posture cues that I've given them to sit up straight. And that becomes really important in life to save your spine, very protective of your spine. So keep your block to the side, bring your buttocks onto the ground, and then if you can, keep your first scoop, second scoop, and third scoop in alignment and bring yourself down. You could hold on for a little help here. And then when we come down, we're gonna use a block to put underneath our pelvis. We're gonna begin the practice in a supported bridge. Now the supported bridge actually, scientific studies have shown that this actually is supportive of heart health, and it's called an inversion. We're gonna bring our pelvis higher than our heart. The people who should not do this are those who have unmanaged high blood pressure. So even if you have high blood pressure and it's managed, that's okay, but unmanaged high blood pressure, you have to be careful with elevating your pelvis. So we're gonna come up and you'd like as little behind your head as possible or even nothing. So if you could take the blanket away, take it away. If you need something under your head, put a very thin fold of a blanket. And then get your block, walk your feet closer to your body, push yourself into the floor, lift your pelvis up and bring your pelvis onto the block. Now, if you prefer something softer, you could use a bolster or pillows or folded blankets underneath your pelvis. So you decide what feels appropriate for you. When you come here, take your arms and push your arms into the floor to lift your rib cage away from the floor, to slide the shoulder blades closer to the spine. Lengthen your head, lengthen the back neck, and then bring yourself into the supported bridge posture. If you'd like, you could take your arms out to the side, bending the elbows. This adds a little opening in some of the posture muscles of the upper chest area, the shoulder joint area. So bring your arms up, let your arms go a little higher if you can. And then the feet, you can have your feet hip distance, or if it feels comfortable for you to let your knees fall in towards each other, you could try to let your knees rest on each other. Now there's definitely a lengthening of the low back muscles, so you might feel a stretch in the low back muscles. Notice there if you feel a stretch in the low back muscles. And press your belly button towards your spine to help protect that low back. So this beginning part of the practice, we'll do some active work here, using our breath, staying very present moment in our body. It's a great way when we get very involved with our breath to help manage stress. And that's a very important part of bone health, because stress, this major stress hormone, cortisol, is a bone dissolving hormone. So we need it for safety in the short run, but if we don't manage our stress and we have chronic cortisol secretion, that's a bone dissolving hormone. So let your arms rest, let your body rest, let the weight of your pelvis go. So let your awareness come to your pelvis, see if you can let go of as much holding patterns as possible. Let your rib cage, so let your first scoop be heavy on the block. Let the rib cage soften the second scoop. And then your third scoop, your chin is tucking towards your chest. You don't want too much pressure to be in that third scoop. You want most of the pressure to be in the upper back. The weight is water falling right above your heart. So feel that in your body. And then close your mouth, bring your awareness to your breath, get connected here to your body, noticing what you notice when you breathe. And then pay attention to where is the breath when you breathe. Is it mostly around the heart? Is it mostly on one side of your body, or is it on both sides? Then bring your awareness to your lower ribs. So the primary breathing muscle, the muscle we need to use the most to stimulate the relaxation healing zone, bone building zone in our body, is the parasympathetic nervous system. So activating the diaphragm to get that to happen. Bring your awareness to your lower ribs in the front of your torso and start to breathe to the lower ribs. Breathe to your lower ribs, front of your body, and feel that expansion and contraction. Now bring your awareness to the side ribs. If we took a water balloon and we put a water balloon on the floor, it goes from a circle to a pancake shape. So as you breathe, breathe wide along the sides of your rib cage. Breathe wide, breathe to the sides. Feel the right lower rib side and the left lower rib side expand with breath. Now bring your awareness to the lower ribs at the back of your body. Breathe in, follow the breath down the front of the spine, all the way to the lower ribs at the back of your body with breath. Breathe in and breathe back to your lower ribs at the back of your body. Now breathe to the whole perimeter of the lower ribs. Breathe in and breathe down. Your diaphragm is the top of your core. So breathe in and breathe down towards your pelvic floor. Feel the pressure that is created in your abdomen when you breathe in and you breathe down to your diaphragm. Breathe into your diaphragm, breathe down to where your legs attach to your body. So the diaphragm is the top of the pelvic floor. Take a few more breaths like this. Now we're going to do some core work here in this position. Keep your eyes closed. Bring your awareness to the base of your pelvis, the bottom of your first scoop. If we're thinking about the 3 scoops, the pelvis, the rib cage, and the head being 3 scoops of ice cream. Bring your awareness to the bottom scoop, the pelvis, and the very bottom opening of your pelvis, the very center. Imagine there's a blueberry there. You're going to draw inward to hold on or grab that blueberry and feel that action. Feel what that feels like. It's a contraction deep inside your body, pelvic floor activation, drawing inward to grab onto a blueberry. And because it is a blueberry, you don't want to squish it too hard. So it's a gentle drawing in activation of pelvic floor muscles. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, activate, draw in to hold on to the pelvic floor, to hold on to that blueberry. Exhale to activate the blueberry. Inhale to release. Exhale to hold on. Inhale to release. This is warming up the core. This is the base of your core. Now on the exhale, you're going to hold on to the blueberry. Now push the blueberry up at the end of your exhale or during your exhale towards your belly button, deepening the pelvic floor activation. Inhale to release. Exhale, hold on to the blueberry, push up, up, up towards the belly button, and then release. Draw inward, push up, and then release. Draw inward, push up. On the exhale and release. Do that for a couple of breaths. You inhale, your pelvic floor, your diaphragm pushes down towards the pelvic floor, and as you exhale, you grab onto the blueberry and you push the blueberry up towards the belly button. Now we're going to add on the muscles of the core between the pelvic floor and the diaphragm. We have obliques, which are like corsets that wrap around. We have transverse abdominis, which is a deep, almost horizontal shaped muscle in the lower pelvic area. We have rectus abdominis, a 6-pack abs, superficial muscle that attaches to lower ribs and then onto the pubic bone. So we're going to activate those by cinching our waist in. Think of an hourglass. Think about the center of the hourglass. Try to make that shape on the exhale, drawing in and activating those other core muscles to hug your core, to hug your lumbar spine with core muscles. Inhale to release and to do nothing. And on the exhale, draw in and hug your spine, draw the waist in, and then inhale to release. Exhale to draw inward. Inhale to release. Exhale, draw in. Inhale to release. Couple more like this. We do the exhale to do the work of the core, to do the activation of the core, and we inhale to release. Exhale, activate. Inhale to release. And then one more. Let's put all of that together. Take an inhale, pushing down with the diaphragm. Exhale, hold on to the blueberry, push it up with the exhale and cinch in your waist and then push the lower ribs down towards the floor. Inhale to release. Exhale, grab the blueberry, push it up towards the belly button, cinch in your waist, push your lower ribs down. Inhale, release, and let the diaphragm press down towards your pelvic floor. Blueberry, cinch in the waist, hug your lumbar spine, push lower ribs towards the floor. Inhale to release. Exhale. And inhale. Couple more. And then do your last one. And then let go. Let everything go. Let's start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Take your left leg and straighten your left leg. Take your right leg and straighten your right leg. Take your arms overhead, stretching your core, stretching your belly. Now push your belly button towards your spine to protect your low back, stretching the front of the body. This is where the spine, the fractures are, is in the front spine. You could dig your heels into the floor or point your toes, whatever feels better for your body. Stretch, pull your rib cage away from your pelvis, really stretch those core muscles, stretch the abdominal muscles that help protect you from falling. Take one more breath, and then bend your knees. Draw your feet as close as you could get them to the block. Push your feet into the floor, and slowly lift your pelvis off the floor. And then let your pelvis go back down onto the ground. Reach back and get the blanket. Or if you had only a single fold, go ahead and double fold the blanket. And then draw the knees into the chest one at a time. And take the knees wide so that they're wider than your body and you're pulling them towards your armpits. Feel the low back flatten onto the ground. Feel that stretch of the low back, the release of the lumbar spine, and then gently, slowly, side to side, rocking across the top edge of the low back. Feel that release. Massaging the low back. Lift your head up, lengthen your neck, tuck your chin towards your chest. And then go ahead and put your feet up the ground. So that was core awareness, the pelvic floor, the obliques, the rectus abdominis, transverse abdominis. There's also muscles in the back. There's a lot of other muscles in there as well. The diaphragm being the top of the core and the pelvic floor being the bottom of the core. So let's move on to doing some core work. Let's take the block and bring the block between your knees. So the block is between your knees. And then I want you to start to squeeze the block and feel how that activates the adductors, the inner thigh muscles. So the core really begins in our arches. And it's from the floor on up. And the core goes up the whole entire body. So most of the time we think of the core as this midsection here. And yeah, this is a major part of the stabilizing and the balancing aspects of the body. But really the core is really from the arches all the way up the midline of the body, all the way up. So squeeze the block and feel the activation of those adductors. Having this part of your body nice and strong is really important for fall and fracture prevention. So take an inhale, let your arms be the side. As you exhale, squeeze the block, start to activate the pelvic floor, hold on to the blueberry, cinch in your waist, push your blueberry up towards your belly button, and then press your low ribs strongly towards the floor. See if you could feel that activation of the core. And then inhale, let the diaphragm push down towards the pelvic floor, release and let go of all of the muscles. Exhale, contract, pelvic floor, grab the blueberry, squeezing the block, cinching in the waist, pushing the lower ribs down. Inhale to release. Feel that strong rocking of your pelvis when you activate your core. Flatten your low back onto the floor. Really feel that on the exhalation. And then inhale to release. Exhale, squeeze the block. Grab onto the blueberry. Push it up towards your belly button. Cinch in the waist. Push the lower ribs down. Inhale to release. Couple more like that. And then go ahead and let go. Take your hands behind your head. Clasp your hands behind your head. Let your elbows be out to the side. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, squeeze the block. Activate your pelvic floor. The blueberry, cinch in your waist. Push your lower ribs to the ground and lift your upper body off the floor. Keep your elbows out to the side. Keep your nose pointing straight up towards the sky. Inhale slowly to lower down. Exhale, block, blueberry, cinch in the waist, push lower ribs down, lift upper body up, nose to the sky, elbows to the sky, to the sides. Inhale to lower. Exhale to rise. Squeeze the block. Inhale to lower. Exhale, rise. Inhale, lower. Exhale, rise. Inhale, lower. One more. Exhale, rise. Stay here. Little pulses up. Squeeze the block. Blueberries pressing up. Sip in the breath if you need a breath to the upper heart area. Keep that activation in your core, stabilizing your upper body to lift away from the ground. Elbows are out to the side. Squeeze the block. Nose is up towards the sky. And then slowly inhale to bring yourself down. So we're going to add a little rotation. Rotation is one of the best things you can do for your spine. Doing it safely is really important. Making sure you lengthen your spine when you rotate. We're going to strengthen the core muscles, strengthen the rotational muscles here, and learning about safe rotation. So take your right leg up into the air. Block is between your legs. Take the left hand on the top thigh. Right hand is behind your head. Right elbow is out to the side. Flex your right foot. Make your right foot active. Take an inhale. As you exhale, activate your pelvic floor. Squeeze the block. Activate the core. Lift up. Slide your left hand up towards the knee. And then direct the right elbow over to the left. Inhale to lower. Exhale, squeeze the block. Activate the core and the pelvic floor. Slide your hand up. And then turn your arm over. Keep that right leg active. Inhale to lower. Exhale to rise. Inhale to lower. Exhale to rise. Inhale to lower. Exhale, squeeze that block, rise. And then one more. Come up, stay here. Little pulses. Slide the hand up the knee, squeeze the block, flex the right foot. Point that right elbow up high and to the left. And then inhale to lower. Bring your right foot down. Take a break here. Hands on the belly. Close your eyes. Let your awareness go into your body to notice what you notice. Take your right hand on your thigh. Take your left hand behind your head. Unbend the left leg. Block is between your legs. Flex that left leg. Take your right hand on your thigh. Inhale. As you exhale, squeeze the block. Activate your core. Hold on to the blueberry. Push it up. Cinch in your waist. Bring your upper body off the floor. Slide the right hand up towards the kneecap. Upper body lifts, and then rotate your upper trunk over to the right, leading with that left elbow, and then inhale to lower. Exhale, squeeze the block, rise up, and then rotate into the rotation. Exhale to rise. Inhale to lower. Exhale to rise. Inhale, lower. As you exhale, squeeze the block, activate the core, pelvic floor, and rotate. And then one more. Bring yourself up, bring yourself over. Little pulses up towards the kneecap, and left elbow is pointing over to the right. Squeeze that block, activate your pelvic floor and your core. And then bring yourself down. Hands on your belly, close your eyes. And then take one more breath. Take your block, bring your block off to the side. Draw the knees into the chest and rock side to side. So we want to strengthen the back of our body also when it comes to core work. Bridge pose offers this great ability to strengthen the back of the body. So take your feet and march your feet so that they go wherever they go. And then take them a little farther away from you. When the legs go farther away from your body, we're going to activate more of the hamstrings and the glutes. Take your arms alongside your body, push your arms into the floor, lift your rib cage up, slide your shoulder blades towards each other, and then go ahead and put your hands back down on the ground. Tilt your pelvis backwards, push your feet into the floor, and push your pelvis up towards the sky. You're only lifting off the floor to about the lower ribs, so it's okay if you have something behind your head here. You don't want extra pressure in your head. Feel the glutes activate in the hamstrings, and then we're going to inhale down. We're going to do the work on the exhale. Exhale, push your feet into the floor, squeeze your tushy, push your body up towards the sky, try to unbend the hip, lengthen the knees away from you. Inhale to lower. Don't let the knees go out to the side here. Stay nice and stable. Exhale to rise. Inhale to lower. Exhale to rise. Inhale to lower. One more. Push your feet into the floor, squeeze your buttocks, bring yourself up, and then little pulses here. Push your feet into the floor, push your toes into the floor. If you're getting cramps, that's a mineral deficiency, tightness in the body, or dehydration. It's got to keep those tissues hydrated, mineralized, and stretch. Push your toes into the floor. That'll help balance the pressure in your feet so it's not just stimulating the back body. And then pulse, pulse, pulse. Feel that heat developing in the glutes, maybe in the hamstrings. And then go ahead and bring yourself down. Draw one knee in at a time and come into a happy baby. So take your legs wide. Soles of the feet are up towards the sky. Draw the knees deep. If you have the flexibility to reach up and hold on to your big toes, your legs need to be spread if you're doing that. If your toes are together, that doesn't work. So take your legs wide and rock side to side. Lift your head, lengthen your back neck. Rock across the top edge of your pelvis. And then draw your knees to your chest. Put your feet on the floor. So we're going to do the bridge again. We could do this here with a strap, or you could put the block between your legs. So your choice. If you don't have a strap, put a block between your legs. You could also do bridge with nothing. This is going to activate the side muscles, so the lateral chain of the body. So take your strap, and you want your loop to be not too big. You put your feet through, lift your head off the floor, put your feet through, so that you have a fist distance between your legs. We are going to come higher in this bridge, and we're doing this bridge with the intention of stimulating the spine. So giving some stimulation to the lumbar spine and the thoracic spine. You want as much of a back bend to come into your spine as possible. So take the blanket away from your back of your head. Take your arms alongside your body. Push your arms in, lift your rib cage away from the floor, and slide your shoulder blades towards each other. So when it comes to osteoporosis or osteopenia and bone health, and we're doing the bridge posture, the focus and the emphasis here is going to be pushing the back of the spine into itself to create stimulation in the bones. and to stretch the front of the spine to create more freedom and more stretch in the front of the spine. So we're gonna come up as much as we can using the arms. Bending your arms alongside your body here will give you the whole entire upper arm bones. Try this here. Take your arms on the ground and push your arms in strongly into the floor. See how you could actually lift your rib cage up, and you could lift the shoulder blades away from the ground when you do that. So when you come up into the bridge, don't look side to side. So don't turn your head to the side to look anywhere. Close your eyes, feel this in your body. You're going to use those arms to get as much of a back bend as possible, stimulating the spine bones to get stronger and the back of your body to get stronger for posture, for fall prevention, and for spinal health. So walk the feet as close as you can get them to your body. Put the feet on the floor. Start to push out on the strap and then tilt the pelvis backwards, flattening the low back into the floor. Lift your head, lengthen the back neck. Exhale. As you inhale, keep your awareness to your body. Now with the exhale, push your feet into the floor, squeeze the tushy, push out on the strap, push your arms into the ground, lift your pelvis up, close your eyes, push your arms even more to feel more of a bend coming to the upper spine, and then let's bring ourselves down. We'll do 3 of these, and then we'll come up on the 4th one, and we'll hold in the bridge posture. Another one. You're going to push your feet into the floor, push out on the strap, squeeze your tushy, push your arms into the floor, push your pelvis up, and bend your upper spine as much as you can. Keep your eyes closed and feel this in your body. Inhale slowly. Put 1 vertebra down on the ground at a time. 1 more to warm up. Push your feet into the floor, push out on the strap, squeeze your buttocks, push your pelvis up, try to unbend the hip, push the knees away from you, push your arms into the floor, bend your spine, inhale to lower, and the next one will come up and we'll hold. Push your feet into the floor, push out in the strap, start with the low back pressing into the ground, push away, squeeze the buttocks, push the pelvis up, unbend the hip, push the knees away from you to lengthen your torso. Now push the upper arms into the floor, staying here this time. Try to bend that spine as much as possible. Push the upper arm bones into the floor a lot. The elbows, the upper arm bones. And then push your shoulder blades to push forward to bend the spine as much as possible. Push your heart up towards the sky and kind of towards your forehead here as you bend your spine. Unbend the hips, push out on the strap, squeeze the tushy, push the feet into the floor, push the upper arms into the floor. Feel the back of your body strengthening. Feel that work at the back of the body, the glutes, the buttocks, which are the glutes, the hamstrings, the low back muscles, and then bring your awareness to your spine. Can you bend your spine and push the back of it into itself? Compressive force in the bones. Strengthen those muscles on the back. Stronger muscles equals stronger bones. The stronger your muscles are, the stronger the bones will be. The muscle sends signals through your bones, and that's what makes the bones get stronger. So if the bones feel that the muscles are bigger and stronger, then they will lay down more tissue and get stronger for you. That's how it works. Push your arms in, push out on the strap, push your feet on the floor, squeeze your tushy. Take 1 more breath. Now you're going to go slow here. As you start to push the upper spine towards the ground, lift up onto your tippy toes. Pull your pelvis away, lengthen your torso as you push the vertebra into the ground. Coming towards the low back, press the low back into the ground. Reach your low back as long as you can. Let your pelvis touch the floor and then put your heels onto the floor. Walk your feet away a little bit and then get your blanket and put your blanket back underneath your head. Take your strap off of your legs. Bring your knees into your chest. Let your knees be wide. Close your eyes and rock side to side. And then bring your feet onto the floor. Take your hands on your belly. Just check in with yourself, check in with your spine, check in with your body. Take one more breath. Take the arms to the side, take them wide. Now take your feet off your mat, so wide off your mat. And keep the soles of the feet on the floor at first. Let your knees go side to side with the soles of the feet staying on the ground. So not a big rotation here. Starting to warm our body up for some rotation and also to give a little counterbalance for back bends that take place in the body. So keeping the soles of the feet on the ground. And then starting to let the soles of the feet come up. So let your knees rock towards the side and then towards the other side. Let your head go opposite of your knees. So your head goes opposite of your knees. Let your knees go. Let your feet rock onto the edges. Feel that stretch in the pelvis, in the core, in the front of the hip joint, down the legs towards the knees. Stretch your body. Stretching that hip joint. And then bring yourself back to center. Let's take the legs and let the legs go to the right, let the head go to the left. Take your left hand, we're going to stretch the whole left side body. So flex the left hand, keep the fingertips touching the ground. Reach through the heel of the hand, push the left big toe edge of the foot into the floor, and push that left hip up towards the sky. Breathe to your left side here. You may feel the stretch on the armpit, you may feel it in the arm somewhere, you may feel it in front of the hip, down the leg, and the waist, depending on where your body needs to be free, to have space freed up in your tissues, in your joints. Take one more breath here. And then bring yourself back to center. Let's go to the other side. Let your knees go to the side. Take your right hand, reach long with the right hand, reach through the heel of your hand. Push that right hip joint up towards the sky and push that right knee away from you. Breathe to your right side here. Stretch your right side. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself back to center. Draw your knees into your chest and then roll on to your side. So protecting our spine and avoiding compression wedge fractures should be on the top of the list if you have osteoporosis, because this is where many fractures show up, maybe later on in life, and maybe I'm not even going to say that. I have women in their 50s that I've worked with that have had compression wedge fractures. But definitely an unaware life, when we're living without awareness of posture, and we have that head forward, the third scoop. If we have the first scoop pelvis, second scoop rib cage, third scoop is the head. We have that forward without paying attention. So here is an opportunity to actually protect our spine through movement when we get up. And in this case, actually protecting our low back. Typically, we would roll back onto our low backs and we would try to pull ourselves up this way. That's what most people, I've watched thousands of bodies in motion since 2010 teaching yoga therapy. So take your hand onto the floor. We're going to use the pushing muscles of the body. We're going to let the head go along for the ride. So take your arm, put your elbow underneath your head. So cradle your head on your bent elbow arm underneath. And then you have the hand that goes in front of you. Take the top leg. Your top leg is going to be a piston. You're going to get some momentum here. You're going to reach through the heel, and this is going to help you. Take an inhale to bring that knee in. And as you exhale, push that leg away and push yourself up from the ground. So that may seem silly, but if you raise awareness every single day to the way you move and the movement patterns, stop doing the movement patterns that can contribute to compression fractures, to those spinal wedge fractures that happen in the front of our spine. If you can bring awareness and move more efficiently and safely throughout your day, that's going to protect you from fractures. So I need to get my timer because I did not bring my timer today to know where we are or what time it is. So definitely today's practice, I'm going to say that core work was pretty hard. There was a lot to that. So hopefully you feel pretty good with what we just did today. Or what we've done so far. Okay, so let's take the blanket and bring the blanket onto the mat. So bring your blanket onto your mat, clear your space, and bring your blanket onto your knees. Now, if you might need extra padding if you have issues with your knees. What I want to do here is I want you to be definitely bending your wrists, because having flexible wrists is one of the ways we'll have fracture prevention in our wrist joint. So have your palms spread, your hands are underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your pelvis. And then take one foot back and flex your toes, reach through the heel. And then let's do that with the other foot. Try to make sure that you're bending all the toes. So push your pinky toe, push towards the pinky toe edge of your foot. Now look forward about 1 foot in front of your mat. Foot back, heel back. And then we're going to come into the plank pose. So take your knees back. Plank strengthens the whole entire front part of the body. So a lot of core muscles are strengthened during the plank posture. Now, if you need to modify and come down into your forearms, do that. Walk your hands forward so your pelvis comes forward. All 3 scoops of ice cream, your pelvis, your rib cage, and your head are forward of your blanket or moving forward. So this would be the modified version. If you could flip your toes under and take your toes up, try that. Then when we're here, if you want a little bit of a challenge, push through your heels, walk your feet so that they're body distance, and then lift the right foot off the floor if that's appropriate for you. Or if you're on your shins, you could take your right foot back and put your right foot into a straight leg position. Let's switch. Let's go to the other side. Stabilizing muscles, core muscles, posture muscles, fall prevention muscles, keeping strength in your body, strengthening your wrist, strengthening your shoulder girdle. And then go ahead and put your feet down. Walk your hands so that they're a little bit closer towards each other. And then try to lift the right hand off if that's appropriate for your body, for you today, and then left. And then bring both hands down. Push through your heels. Push all the fingers into the floor. Head is forward. Don't let your head hang. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and bring yourself out. Come into a position so you can catch your breath. It could be crisscross legs. It could be kneeling if your knees will bend. Close your eyes, catch your breath. Notice the accelerated heart rate. That gives you an indication that you're using more muscles, a lot of muscles. And stronger muscles mean stronger bones. Breathe down to your belly. Activate the diaphragm, the primary breathing muscle around the lower ribs. Feel the belly expand. And then go ahead and open your eyes. So plank, practicing plank on a daily basis can be a great way to make sure that you stay strong as you move along in this life. We're going to come down onto the belly, onto the floor, doing some posture work for the back of the body. So take your blanket more towards the bottom part of your mat. And then take your knees to the very back part of your mat. Bring your hands forward, forward, forward. Keep your head up as well. And then bring one elbow onto the ground and then the elbow. And then bring your body down. Now push back so that your pelvis is supported, your hip bones are supported by your blanket. And then look down and walk your elbows so that your elbows are underneath your shoulders. And then spread your hands. This is called Sphinx posture. And it is a posture for posture. Now press the toenails into the floor, the kneecaps will come off. Spread your hands, push your elbows, push your forearms, and push your hands into the floor, pressing away from the floor. And then squeeze your tushy cheeks if your low back is not happy here. Squeeze the buttocks to help protect that low back. Push the tops of the feet into the floor. Kneecaps will activate away from the ground. Push away now. Push your heart forward and push up. Gaze is forward. Eyes could be open or eyes could be closed. Breathe down to your belly. Keep your mouth closed. Feel that stretch in the belly. Now we're going to add a little bit of movement in the Sphinx. We're going to make it dynamic, adding movement to it. You're going to exhale. As you inhale, reach your nose up as if you were sniffing an odor in the sky, and reach up and look towards one side, and then bring your head back to center, nose up towards the other side, and back to center. Nose up like you're sniffing, and back, and nose up. And bring yourself back. Push away from the floor. Push your heart forward. There's a bend in your spine. There's a back bend in the spine here. Strengthening those muscles, stretching the front of your body. Take one more breath. Now you're going to take your elbows and bring your elbows forward and wide, and put your left hand on underneath your right hand. And then let your forehead rest on the top of the right hand. Breathe to your belly. So we're going to do a little to strengthen the erector muscle group. This is the back muscles that attach into the pelvis, go up and down the spine, and these are the muscles that help you forward fold safely. These are the muscles that protect you from falling. Really important muscles in the back of the body. So take your forehead and rest it on the back of the right hand. Exhale. As you inhale, keep your spine in alignment, so don't bend your neck here. Push away from the floor and lift your body up, or push away from the floor to lift up. Feel maybe the front body moving, maybe the muscles of the back contracting. Exhale to lower. Inhale to rise. Push your elbows into the floor, your hands into the floor, and exhale down. One more like this. Now on the next one, you're going to inhale to rise, and then bring the right palm up to touch the forehead, the back of the hand, the back of the right hand to touch forehead, and then bring everything down. Inhale, lift your body first, and then your right arm off the floor, back of the hand goes to the palm, and then bring yourself down. Inhale up, palm comes up, or back of the hand comes up, and then down. Let's switch. Take the left hand, put the left hand on top. Forehead is resting on the backs of the hands. Exhale, and then inhale, push your arms into the ground, lift yourself up. Exhale to lower. Inhale, and exhale. Again.
On the next one, you're going to rise on the inhale and then bring the whole left arm up. Let the back of the left hand touch your forehead and then lower. Inhale to rise. Then let the left hand come up. Back of the hand touch the forehead and then lower. Inhale. And then lower. Bring your hands apart so that the middle fingers touch. Let your forehead or your nose touch the ground. Exhale. Inhale to rise. Then let both hands come up if you can. Exhale down. If you can't do both hands, do one and then do the other. Lots of back work. Push your feet into the floor. Push your pubic bone towards the ground. One more. Come up and stay up if you can. If you're doing right hand and left hand, you could switch them while you're up here. Elbows are up. And then go ahead and lower. Take your hands on your head. Take your feet wide, bend your knees, and let your feet flop side to side. So strengthening the back of your body. It's where you're going to feel the sensations at the back of the body. Breathe down to your belly. And then let your legs go long. So we're going to do the locust posture. Take your hands alongside your body. Walk your feet so your toenails touch, your big toes touch. Lift your head up to lengthen your head. Let your forehead touch the ground. Hands are alongside your body. Exhale. As you inhale, push a marble away with your nose. Let your head lift. Let your upper torso lift. Let your arms lift. And then let your legs come off the ground. Reach long with your fingers, long with your feet, long with your head. Now roll the inner thighs up towards the sky so the soles of the feet are pointing up towards the sky. Push the pubic bone towards the ground to help protect your low back. Squeeze your tushy if you'd like, turning those soles of the feet up towards the sky and in a little bit of internal rotation into your legs, into your hips to give freedom to low back. Push your heart forward, push away from the floor, lift up. If you'd like to add a clasp, if you clasp your arms go straight. Don't let your hands rest on your body. So if you clasp and your hands rest, unclasp them and go back to straight arms. Reach long with your arms, long with your feet, long with your head. Bend your spine, shoulder blades slide towards each other, shoulder blades push forward to bend the spine as much as possible, pushing the back of the vertebra into themselves. Little more stimulation there for the bones, and then strengthening those muscles in the back body. Stronger muscles equal stronger bones. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself forward. Take your hands, fold your hands, take your legs wide as your mat. Bend your knees, let your forehead rest on your head, rest on your back of your hands, and let your knees flop side to side. Breathe to your belly. And then let your legs go straight. Take your arm up and roll onto your side. Cradle your head in your hand. An opportunity to take care of our spine as we move to a seated position. Take your hand on the ground, that upper leg, the knee comes in, take an inhale. As you exhale, push yourself up and bring yourself all the way up. So we're going to do a posture that strengthens the back of the body. When we push, we're going to be pushing away from the ground here. We're going to do a posture called tabletop. This does a lot to strengthen the shoulders, so see how you feel with this. Maybe you'll come up and you'll stay up, or maybe you'll continue to do an up and down movement depending on how this feels for the shoulders. The important thing when we do this is you want to make sure that you do not collapse in your chest. Make sure you stay nice and lifted in your chest. Ideally, the hands would be, palms would be on the ground, fingertips would be facing the legs or the buttocks, and you would be really close together to keep your shoulder blades together to stabilize your shoulder girdle for support for your upper spine. If you need to take your hands a little wider or turn your hands out, that may be an option as well. Take your feet so that your toes are pointing forward. You can start from your blanket, and you're spreading your fingers because you want to put pressure in your fingers as well. Take an inhale, lift your heart, and as you exhale, push your hands into the floor, push your feet into the floor, push your pelvis up towards the sky. The goal here is to try to unbend the hip joint, lengthen the knees away from you, stretching those shoulders, push the fingers into the floor, and then the head could be looking straight up, or if that's too much for your head, you could tuck your chin towards your chest. Do what you need. If you need to come up and down to come into the strength and out of the strength, into strength and out, do that. Push your feet into the floor, push away from the floor. Feel that power behind your body. Push your toes in, push your feet in, squeeze your tushy to push your tushy up, unbend your hip joint, push your fingertips in, pushing up towards the sky. Do what's appropriate for you. Lots of shoulder stretching here. Make sure that's okay for your shoulders. Make sure you stay safe, doing what's safe for your body. Push away, take one more breath. And then you're going to go slow as you bring yourself down. Come into a rest position to catch your breath. So kneeling or crisscross, close your eyes, sit nice and tall. Take one more breath. And then open your eyes. So this practice had a lot of strengthening components, a lot of body awareness components when it comes to the important aspects of posture, of spinal alignment, of what we need to work on to stretch, to strengthen when it comes to posture, which is really important for fracture prevention. It's also important for spinal health. And many cultures say that the health of the spine determines the health of the human. So the healthier your spine is, the more upright you're able to sit, the more length you have in your body. If you're taking care of your spine, you're taking care of many facets of your body that are going to allow you to have strong fracture-resistant bones, to be mobile in your body, to remain active in your body, so that every day you're doing as much as you can to build strength in your muscles, in your body, and all of that is so important when it comes to bone health. So let's come into an integration posture, Shavasana, allowing everything that we just did in the practice to seep into the tissues. So to come down into a well-deserved Shavasana after a practice that had a lot of strength in it, you want to allow that to integrate, that to become a new memory in your body, the strength in your spine. What we did today, let this be the new memory of strength and of alignment in the body. So come down onto the ground. Blanket underneath your head. Any last minute, anything you need to do. Take your legs and your arms, shake. Allow your limbs to relax into your body. And then come into Shavasana, corpse pose, final rest posture of integration. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Breathing down with your diaphragm towards your pelvic floor. Feel the belly fill with breath. Start to bring movement into your body. Gently bend one knee at a time and then draw one leg at a time in towards your heart. Pulling the knees deep towards your chest. Lift your head, lengthen your neck. Rocking side to side. Then all the way onto your side. Cradle your head in your hand. Take your hand on the floor in front of you. Bring that upper leg up. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, push that leg away to help push away from the ground, bringing yourself up into a seated position. Crisscrossing your legs or kneeling, whatever feels comfortable for your body. It's your practice. So do what feels comfortable so that you'll do it more often. Take your hands to your heart. We're going to close the practice with sound. So bring the hands to the chest. We're going to close with the sound Om. The sound Om is a blending of vowel sounds. The ah, from the throat when the mouth is open. When the sound on the exhale comes to your middle mouth, it starts to take on the sound of the O or the U, the vowels. Oh. And when your lips are touching, the vibration that comes in with the lips together. And the fourth part of the Om sound
is the pause at the end, because the Om is actually our connection, mind, body, soul. So take your hands, rub your hands together, press your hands to your heart so that you could sit up as tall as you can in your spine. Lengthen the back neck, slightly tuck the chin down towards the chest and push the chin back. Feel that nice alignment in your spine. Take a big exhale. Inhale deeply. Bringing your hands up to your forehead, bowing by bending at the hip joint, keeping your spine in nice alignment. Bring yourself forward in gratitude. Namaste. So this practice had a lot of components, a lot of strengthening components, maybe not as many postures as we usually do, but a lot more therapeutic, a lot more yoga therapy focused practice today, with the spinal work that we were doing, the core work that we were doing. Practice this to keep your body nice and strong, because the stronger you are in the middle part of your body, the better you're going to be when it comes to fall and fracture prevention. And that's really what matters to us, is we don't want to break. And so make sure that you keep yourself as strong, limber, flexible as possible so that you do not fracture. All right, so who is here with me, and what would you like to say if you would like to say? So who's still here? Amanda. Oh, are you still here? You're welcome, Esther. Yeah. I normally teach so many postures when it comes to the practice. But what I really realized, because I teach 4 other classes a week that are live with people, and what I really notice is how important it is that we have this education, this awareness, and how important it is that we stay safe in our bodies, safe with our movement, but really safe with our yoga practice. And this week I've had a couple of conversations where someone said to me, "Oh, I'm not allowed to do crunches when I have osteoporosis." And I'm like, all right, well, let me show you how you should be crunching, because what we did today is the safe way to do core work, to keep your arms out to the side, to lift your upper body, to bring in that challenge without rounding and flexing your spine. So that is what we should and can do. Terry. Yeah, Terry, I found this practice challenging, and I am in pretty decent shape. I've taught, this is my 4th class in 3 days. And I did some core work in class yesterday, and I was so sore. So I actually felt this entire class today. I just pushed through it to get stronger and stronger. So yeah, it was strong. It was challenging. And then of course, when we take time off, that happens, right? Carolyn, great. All right. Well, so nice to have you here. So grateful to have you here. For those of you that are in my community, I'm going to do a little bit more yoga stuff in our next session that has to do with the gut too, a little bit more digestion. And those that are not in my community, join my community. It's not very expensive. I'm keeping it really low price point. So you can find that information on my website. And so I will not be here next Thursday. I'll be filming in Tampa. Cannot wait. And but I will be here from there on out. So you'll see me the following. And I'll share a link next week to something you can practice. All right. Listen, do my podcast today from an orthopedic surgeon. Really great information. So tune in to Stronger Bones Lifestyle podcast and listen to the latest podcast episode, or look for other podcasts, because I am so fortunate to be interviewing some pretty amazing people on Stronger Bones Lifestyle podcast. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you whenever I see you.